Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels, where I'm going to show you how to make simple, delicious meals on a budget that anyone can make no matter what your expertise in cooking is. And you can even make them on a butane stove like I have here. So let's get going. Come on and join me. For this meal, which is going to be fried rice, you're going to need, of course, rice. You're going to need eggs, bacon. I'm using bacon, but you can use any meat. You can use chicken, you can use sausage. I used some extra breakfast sausage that I had the other day when I made it for my daughter. You can use shellfish, anything you have on hand, but I'm using bacon because it gives it a good seasoning and a good flavor, and I don't have to use a lot of it. This is only 2 slices of bacon that I chopped up and I have cooking here. So what we're going to do is, I didn't tell you the rest of the ingredients. You're going to also need a green onion, which I have separated out, the bottom white part and the green part. I like shredded carrots in mine, but again, you can make this however you want. If you want to add bean sprouts, if you want to add corn, if you want to add peas, whatever you want, but I just did it very simply today. The other thing is sometimes when I'm cooking this, I use it a wok to cook it because the higher side, so when I'm stirring it, it doesn't spill over, but you can use whatever you have on hand, and that's why I use this large skillet today, because most people have a large skillet and many of you may not have a wok. So the first thing you're going to do, I've got my bacon here all cooked up, just again 2 slices of bacon cut up in fine pieces. Then what I'm going to do is turn my heat up so I've got it fairly high, and then I'm going to add my egg. Now I have enough oil from the bacon that I don't need to add any more oil to cook my egg. So I'm going to just fry my egg here. Actually, it would have been better, quite honestly, if I'd had my pot a little hotter here, but have your pot a little hotter when you pour your egg in so it starts cooking right away. Next time I'll do that. But let that start cooking, and as that's cooking, get the bacon spread out so it's kind of all around in the egg. Get this going. And as the egg's cooking, you're going to start separating it as it gets cooked because you want to make it into little pieces. You don't want big giant chunks of egg in your rice. For those of you who don't like the white part of the onion really crunchy, you can, before you add the egg with the oil from the bacon, you can saute the onion for a moment or two. All right, let's get this going. All right, I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. And as the egg is not quite but almost done, I'm going to start adding in my rice. I do about 1 cup of rice per 1 egg, but if you like yours really flavored with egg, you can add much more. I'm turning this down a little bit, and I'm going to start adding my rice in here. Now what I do with my rice, because I don't like it to be sticky, I don't use quite as much water as the recipe calls for. So if I'm doing 2 cups of grain rice, I will just add maybe 3 7/8 cup of water because I want the rice to be a little bit firmer. Also, I rinse off my rice before to get all that starch off it so that it's not all sticky and mucky in here. Now, I'm not going to add all of that rice. I might, let me see. But you're going to get it all, you're going to clump it. Anything that's all clumped, you're going to separate here. You're going to get it all mixed really good here. And you can actually add, I think I'm going to add a little more rice, just a little more. I'm getting that all good and mixed in there. Now am I getting that mixed in there really well? You see how well that I'm mixing it. I wish I was one of those cooks, you know, those fancy schmancy cooks that take and they throw the pot up and the rice goes in, it comes right back. I would love to try that, but we won't have any show because that'll be the end of the show. The rice will be all over the ground. So I'm not going to try that here, but I may practice it, and one of these days I may just try it for you guys. All right, I think that's pretty well mixed there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my onion, my carrots rather. This is about, I'd say maybe about three onions chopped up, and about 1.5 good sized carrots. I mean really thick, big carrots. And I like them grated, but you don't have to grate it. I mean, you can just dice them into small pieces, but I prefer it grated. And then after I do that, I'm going to add my garlic. I'd say a good tablespoon or so of garlic. You could even add a little more if you like. You know how I love garlic. And so you know I'm still mixing to get all of these ingredients mixed really well in here. Then I'm going to add just a dash of salt. You don't really need to add a lot of salt because I'm going to add some bouillon, and I'm also going to add soy sauce, so you don't really need a lot of salt. I just do a little dash of salt, and you do it to flavor, to your taste. Then I'm going to add about the same amount of pepper. Again, depending on how, oops, that's flying away a little bit, how highly seasoned you like it or how hot you like it. Mix that in there really good. And I have this on low here. Now what I like to do is take, it's kind of hard to work with these gloves, but I like to take a bouillon cube, and if you're doing chicken, you can add a chicken bouillon cube. If you're doing beef, you add a beef bouillon cube, and I like to just crumble it. Oh, I should have, this is live here, so you're seeing what's happening without any, but what I should have done and usually do, and I forgot, I'll be honest, I forgot to do it. I usually take this and I smash it and get it crumbled up so it's all crumbled, but it's not crumbled today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to smash it up in this pot. This is truly ad lib. But you want to get it good and smashed. Like I said beforehand, what I would have done is take it into little cubes, smashed it up. As I got it up here, I realized I hadn't done that. So it is what it is, folks. Okay, I've got that pretty good and smashed, and I'm going to add that all into my, you can determine whether you want 1 or 2 cubes, depending on how flavorful you want it or how seasoned. I'm only going to add 1. If after I taste it and before I serve it, I see that it's not quite where I want it to be, I'll smash up another one and sprinkle it over. That's what you do. You smash it up and then sprinkle it over and mix it in. Okay, now I'm going to add about, oops, I've got a few more little things of rice here. Okay, that were a little clumpy. All right, you can see how that's coming together no clumps in my rice. And I'm going to add about, I'd say about a tablespoon or so of soy sauce here. Any brand that you want is fine. That's good. That adds some color. I usually like dark soy sauce because it gives it a little more color, but I didn't have any, so I'm just using what's available. And then sometimes what I will do is I will add oyster sauce. But I only do that if I am the only one eating it in my house, or if I know that whoever I'm giving it to doesn't have a shellfish allergy, because this has oyster juice in it. So you do have to be careful when you use this to make sure that whoever you're serving it to is not allergic to shellfish. So I am not going to use that today, but that's something that I often do use. And we're just about ready here. Let's go and add the green part of the onion. Look how beautiful and colorful that is. Isn't that lovely? Get that mixed up all well in there. You talk about some good eating. Now you can eat this by itself because it has veggies in it. It's got rice, it's got eggs, it has some bacon, or you can have it as a side dish with something else. And if you're vegan, you don't have to add the egg, and you certainly don't have to add the bacon, but you can add many, many vegetables and still add the seasonings and the soy sauce. And all right, I'm gonna get this plated up and come back and let you know how it turned out. Well, let's try this puppy and see how it turned out, shall we? For all my smashing of bouillon and all of that. But I told you, this is the real deal. No fancy schmancy here. Whatever happens, it happens, and you see it all. Let's see how this tastes. Panda Express, you better watch out. I'm coming for you. This is amazing. Really, This is really good. Really good. I forgot to tell you that you do need to add about a teaspoon or so of butter if you want. That's what I added, and you can taste the butter. It makes it creamier, richer, and you add the butter after you've added the rice and all the ingredients. The last thing I do is I either put butter in it and let it melt and mix it in, or you can even melt a little butter and pour it on it. Either way works fine, but this is divine. I just want to thank you so much for sticking with me and hanging in there. So many of you contacted me and asked me if I was all right when I didn't do the show last week. I was just under the homeschool curse. I don't know what you would call it, but God bless all these teachers, because I'm having to homeschool right now, and I'm telling you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. So I just had to take a break and get this homeschool thing and Zoom. I couldn't figure out this Zoom. I still haven't figured out this Zoom. So I'm doing all the homeschooling. I'll fill you in on if I ever fill out this, and my daughter's able to get on Zoom for her classes. But anyhow, and I also wanted to thank you and give you an update, a praise report. My friend is on the mend and out of the hospital. So thank you, all of you that wrote to me and let me know that you prayed for her. I tell you, prayer works every time. Thank you so much. Until next time, may your journey be filled with joy and blessings. Take care, and I'll see you next Thursday. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that button wherever it is, or bell, to get notifications, and like, and by all means, tell me what you're thinking. If you try this, let me know. If you have recipes you want me to try, let me know. Take care. Bye, friends.